Bro.
Falta un medium. Oh,
Oh, we fucking traded.
Ay, Dios mío.
oh, I was clean.
So you wanna know how to do all the stuff that you just saw? Then you're in the right video. I'm gonna show you all the tech that I know, all the bugs, why it happens, how to avoid them. I'm gonna show you how to throw people off the map. But before I go right in the guide, I wanna talk about a possible spear rework. Because people seem to be talking about in social media, they go like, oh, they take one look at the fucking spear, it spins, you can't fucking move, you can't cancel it, you're just stuck there like a fucking idiot, and the shit doesn't fucking even do damage, you're gonna fucking die. So they say, just remove it, just make it, throw it, make it throwable, make it throw. That, okay, it would be cool if you could throw it. But what I'm trying to say is I don't want that. I already spent so much time into this weapon. I know so much. It's so creative, and there's like so much stuff you can do, and it's like so unique. I don't want it to be just like a, a throwing knife with a melee option. You know, I don't. Even though that would be cool, just make this weapon work, because this spin is the most unique part of the weapon, right? And a rework. What's a rework? A rework is when something doesn't, like, so, like let's say the stun gun needed a rework, right? Why? Because it was too oppressive. People hated it. And why does the spear need a rework? Because like nobody plays it. That's true. Almost nobody plays it, but because it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. Let's just replace it. What? No, I don't like that. If it doesn't fucking work, fix it. You know? Like, please fix it. What they need to do instead of a rework, to make the spin canceling an actual mechanic. Remove the fucking thing of, oh, you can't run, because Sledge can do it, why can't the spear? Right? Sledge can just do the right click, do a bunch of fucking damage, and then, or they can do it and then say nope swat to a gadget without any penalties. They can slide while doing it. You could be able to slide with the spin, but the devs got removed that too. So all I'm saying is, make the canceling a thing, an actual mechanic, and make the spin actually hit people that are inside it. You know, fix the bug that's been in the game since season 3. And there's no need to rework. People will be like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like when a spear player is spinning, they do a lot of fucking damage, and we shouldn't approach it because they see you spinning and they approach any fucking way because they know the weapon is ass. So to say my words again, instead of a rework, they need to fix the spin. Then after fixing the spin, we can talk about if y'all wanna like add the throwing on top of this spin, because removing it, it's dumb. It's gonna make a lot of spear players sad, because the spear players that use the spear is because of the spin, low key. It's not because of the left clicks. Okay, okay. so yeah, please Mark. Please fix the spin. Onto the guide, I guess. So first thing I'm gonna go over is the playstyle / mindset you have with the spear. What is good and what is bad. The mindset is more like you wanna ambush them. You don't wanna you don't have the damage that Sledge provides. So you always gonna have want to have the drop on people. And then like you say, how are you gonna have the drop on people? It's pretty easy, and it's by using the third-person camera that the spear offers you. Right? And this used to be like always a thing, but it was kind of risky at the same time because you couldn't attack. But now since update 8.9, you can cancel an attack, right? So that means that there's basically no drawback to this, because all you have to do it, you can attack afterwards. The only penalty is that you can't run if you cancel it like really fast. But since if you can't run, you just do a slide instead, or a slide jump, whatever suits your needs at the time. Since you want to have the drop on people, that's why I like to have logbolt most of the time, so I can logbolt them when they don't expect it, dome the logbolt when they want to shoot you or the logbolt, and then combo them to death. Hopefully they wasted a bunch of ammo either on the logbolt or the dome. You gotta be careful though. You don't wanna get glitched. So the spear also excels in people that are really close up and they play together. If they're sticking way too close, you're salivating. You want that, especially if you have logbolt too. But you can do stuff like this. I just told you that it's good when people are close together, but at the same time, sometimes it's bad. Why is it bad? Because when people, let's say they have a heavy, they like to reinforce themselves with a lot of stuff. Spin has a really fucking annoying bug. I'm gonna explain to you what it is. Basically, I'm gonna try to find the developers. I talked to them in a Twitch stream once. They said basically that there's like a hidden number of things that the spin can hit before it just straight up does no damage, right? They know it's a bug. They've tried to fix it like a couple times, but it's still here, so it obviously doesn't work still, that fix. So all you have to know is that if the spin hits around 15 or more objects, it won't do any more damage anymore. Once it hits, like, I don't know what number it is exactly. They don't really say, but yeah, like let's say these barricades are all 5, right? So there's 2 barricades, so that's 10 objects. The player counts as 11, and then the goos are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah. There's a lot of things, right? If they have a mesh shield, it counts. Dome shield counts. If you hit fucking chairs, the walls, all that counts for the spin. So that's gonna make the subsequent 1, 2, 3 that it almost always makes the second or the third hit not work. You see, it hit no one. That's because, as I told you, that threshold was filled, so it doesn't work anymore. That's what's bad about the spear. And this bug is gonna plague your fucking games because the spin is so useful. You're gonna have to use it. It creates a lot of frustration, especially for someone that's me that has played for so long. So how do you avoid this? You avoid it by just resetting the spin. So how are you doing this? How are you canceling it? You canceled it by opening any wheel, right? It can be any wheel. Right now, the wheel I'm using, I think, is the Jesters. But you can do it with the emote wheel as well. Let me see if I can find it. Emote, G. So yeah. Fuck. You see? Both wheels work. But I do it with the gestures and the sprays because they don't stop you from doing like any actions. Like you can do a spray and attack at the same time. Right? And the emote, you just like you don't wanna accidentally do a fucking greedy in front of them and die. So that's how you cancel it, people. Does the communications work? I think so. Let me see. Yeah, that also works. It's kind of risky because the communication wheel has the emo on top, so that could happen. But otherwise, you're kind of fine. So putting that together, you avoid that bug by doing the spin cancel, the emo cancel. I'm gonna call it emo canceling from now on, even though I'm not emoting. It's the wheel. Let's just call it wheel cancel. Fuck it, wheel cancel. By doing the wheel cancel, you can avoid most bugs with this weapon. As so. There's two things about this I wanna say. It's you have to hold it a little bit. You can't just tap it. Tapping it won't work. You see? You have to hold it. And another thing about it is that you can also hold the right click or the alt attack button on the controllers. I have no idea what it is. And then open up the wheel. It looks like it hits, but actually it doesn't have a hitbox. I can show you. It's not that broken. Yeah, it's not doing any damage. You're gonna have to time it, and it's not that fast anyway. Rather just let the animation do that. It's way faster. I already shown you why sometimes the spin doesn't hit on the second or third hit sometimes. But there's more to it. Sometimes it's not a threshold of items. Sometimes it's shrubbery like this. I think it's because like this bushes count like a wall or something, and if you don't have line of sight with the spin, you won't hit the enemy. So if I spin right here, those barrels are not gonna move. Oh, ningún spin funcionó. Ass, really ass. But now, if I break all the bullshit, now it should work. Would you look at that? That is so freaking pink. Oh my goodness. So yeah, when it happens to you, just know you gotta keep that in mind always. Like, is there too much objects around? Am I fighting a goo fucking heavy? Is there goo fucking everywhere? Maybe you shouldn't be spinning. Or maybe you should always do like one. Like this. You know? That's how you avoid most bugs with the spear. Now. So now I'm gonna talk about the combos on every class. We're gonna start off on light, but before I do, you gotta know that the first two spins, the first spin and the second spin start kind of like at a 45-degree angle to the left, right? The second one is more to the front, and the first one is more to the back. So that's important to know in combos. I barely ever do this, what I'm about to show you, but you can do this. And that combo that I just did is faster than doing this. But that combo is not gonna be faster if you do this instead. See, that's like, I don't know, it's way slower. So, why does that happen? Again, it's because the spin starts off to the side. So, in reality, which is why I don't do this, you're not gonna like precisely look to the side to like hit them really fast. What you're gonna want to do instead is look back straight up. It still hits kind of fast, but they're gonna move a lot. They're gonna want to move away from you, and if you try to hit them like this, they could move in front of you, and then you're wasting a bunch of time just spinning around when you can just, looking back, you cover more area behind you. And plus, if you're afraid they're kind of like moving a weird way, you can just look down. You can look more of them behind you, like this, like. you know. So when fighting lights, there's two scenarios. They know you're there, or you know you're not there. Okay. If they don't know you're there, you almost always want to do this. That's like almost, it's basically no time to react. If they do react, the spin covers so much fucking area that it's gonna hit them anyway. Like it's pretty far. You need to kill them faster for whatever reason, and you don't want to wait for the spin. You can also try to do this or this, but that's way slower. That's way slower. Like they can react to that. If they know you are there, you almost never want to do the spin. Okay. Like if it's, especially if it's an open wide area and they can like run away or move away or like dash behind, you almost want to do left click. There's a couple things you can do. You can left click, wait for the dash, and then dash at them and then do the stab and stuff. But that's just gonna leave them on 1 HP. So that's why I like to pair it with winch as well, the spear. Because then you can just kill them with the winch. Or the longbow. Because that also does 5 damage. But what's realistically gonna happen when they know you're there and you can't spin, that's most common situation, is that you hit them once, they spin a dash away. And then you're gonna hit the winch, so you do left click quick melee. And if they dash away, like they press S and specialization, you just hold forward, left click and quick melee. And doesn't matter if they dash away, that's gonna hit them. But then if they know about this, they're just gonna dash to one of the sides, and the quick melee will miss. Unless you get lucky and the aim assist will carry you, unless you have it off, and GG's, bro. I see a lot of people as well with the spear, they like to winch and put a barricade behind and then do that, but it's kind of iffy, because sometimes they're just gonna kill you. You don't have enough health sometimes, and this takes a while. Up to you. That's why when there's a lot of lights in the game, I run RPG, I winch them, left quick melee, and just swap through the RPG. And they're so low health that it's like pretty easy to kill them. And that's usually what you do against lights. So now we're gonna talk about the medium class, combos on the mediums. And the reason why there's like... I say combos because there's not one combo that's gonna fit in every situation, right? It's important for you to know all the combos, because you're gonna be diving enemies, like going crazy, spinning and attacking and shit. And you won't, if you don't know too well the combos that kill every class with what hit you hit them with, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna struggle a little bit. The go-to combo with spear winch with a light, I mean not a light, with a medium, is this. 2 left clicks, winch, left click quick melee. And the reason why that works is only if you add a stab. You won't kill a medium with just 3 swipes. But this almost never happens. You don't really have to worry about it. But yeah, and then you know, if they're like running away, you're only landing those. It's very unlikely. So yeah, that combo, this only works if they're not healing. If they got healed or they're in a healing zone, healing emitter, it won't work, because it's like exact numbers. The issue with doing the quick melee combos is that the spear, you know, has range, and the quick melee doesn't, right? So a bunch of these combos are like assuming that they're just gonna stay still, waiting for your freaking quick melee to hit. So my go-to combo that's super easy to do is hit them twice, look away from them, and spin. You can also like buffer it, so it's like really easy. to do. Again, you look away so the spin hits faster. And you don't like miss, like even if they run this way, even if they run that way, they'll get hit. Issue with that is that the numbers are exact. That's exactly 250. If they're in a healing zone, healing beam, healing anything healing, man, they're gonna survive. So instead, if they know they're healing, usually someone's getting healed, they don't move. So you do this, and you don't always want to do that because you know you're waiting for the spin, but it's pretty fast. This one's faster. Yeah, I laugh at him. But yeah, you can also do the reverse. Let's spin first and do that. That's also very good to know, especially when there's multiple people, right? Also, let's just say that you're afraid that the spin bug will happen. You can just do one spin instead. Just do this and then 2 left clicks to kill a medium. If you do the spin and they're running away, or you know they're gonna run away, you can slide to catch them. A pro tip: don't ever do this. The third one. The third one is super slow, and you like look how slow that is. Yeah, you can look back to hit it faster, but there's no point in that. If you wanna do another spin, just cancel it and spin again. Like that. Now, heavies, they're okay. They're not that hard. They're not that easy either. Depends on the matchup. The hardest like heavy matchup is the minigun. Straight up, minigun is the hardest to fight. The second after minigun is sledgehammer. But the only tip I can give you after getting clapped by girls, 1v1, is that you have more range. Right? You never want to winch the sledgehammer first. If you hit them once or twice, you can kill them easily. But yeah. Also, if you see a heavy that with a flamethrower, you should always win that fight. But you're gonna have to accept that you're gonna be a low health no matter what. Okay. Now, the go-to heavy combo is honestly just this. Boom, easy kill. If they don't know you're there, you should start with a spin. So like they get hit by the insta damage of like the spin, they realize they're, you're right there, and then you just chase them down with the left clicks. If they know you're there, you can do the combo, the go-to combo, the bread and butter or whatever. But if you know, like, let's say it's a Chak, it has low ammo and they can kill you really quickly, sometimes it's good to stay doing the left clicks, because you can like move around a lot and slide with it, which is very it's good to like break their line of sight and stuff. Also, if the heavy starts to charge at you, just spin. You're gonna do more damage than they're gonna do to you. One thing to watch out for though is if you do left click spin and then left click again, they're not gonna die. Just 2 swipes ain't gonna kill him. You're gonna have to do a quick melee, and winch won't help you. They will survive anyway. Look at that. Look at that. Now, loadouts are an interesting topic, I feel, because in my opinion, the most viable loadout or like specialization with spear is gonna be winch. Every spear player that's high elo is gonna be on winch. Like if you see a spear player, it's winch. It's always gonna be winch. Winch and spear like go bread and butter, bro. Okay. I've seen Goose Spear, and I used to shit on it because of the bug that I explained earlier with the 15 objects thing. with the threshold, but that's how you break a goo really fast, by the way. But now it's not that bad. This is not that bad. I feel like it could be good, and it can also help fighting other melee weapons like the sledge. You goo them and goo the fucking overhead. But I still think winch is better. If you goo I might just show you right now, even though this is not the combo part, but if you go a light, you can try to do this before they try to do it back, before they dash away. And even if they do dash away, you hit them with 100 damage, 105. You see? Another one is spear charge, and this would be good. It was good before, and I used to prefer charge over winch, but it's not as good anymore because simply because of this interaction right here. Left click twice and one charge and slam. They live with 5 health. That's so trash. If they would buff charge to do 105 damage, then this will be a viable one. Still not a bad, but you can try to use the extra speed and the length of the spear to catch up to people. But that's just like a faster winch, but shittier winch at the same time. And it also helps the spear. It helps with like destruction, which that's what one of the weaknesses, one of the bigger weaknesses the spear winch has. In my opinion, winch is the best one. The reason why I like barricade a lot with spear, in general, no matter what loadout, is because of the third person thing I showed you earlier. And that's really easy to abuse with this. And also, like, you can hit people behind the walls, kind of. Like, it doesn't do damage right now, but you can jump and it'll hit them. You gotta time the jump though. And that is very, very, very helpful. Like, they catch you off guard or something, pull up that down, and just watch them. Just watch if they're gonna throw a pyro, a glitch grenade, if they throw a fucking vortex, sometimes they throw a C4. Whatever it is, you can just slide away, run away, bait them in. You know, barricade is like to bait them in and watch what they're doing. Sometimes you put the barricade and they just run and leave you alone. You pick it back up and you start playing again. I think barricade is very good. One thing to note though, you gotta be really careful of not breaking it. This is where actually the bug that doesn't hit things actually help you out, because sometimes the third hit won't hit, so that means you can peek around the corner with the barricade more often. See, right there, the third hit didn't hit. That means I'm not really hitting it, so I have more time watching, stalking. Hide your children, hide your wife. The spear player's coming. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Actually, one barricade tip I want to show off is that, because it'll happen a lot if you're using the barricade and spear, is a lot of people that are using pyronets are gonna throw that shit to your barricade. Just want you to know, you can pick up the barricade and it'll disappear. That's good to know. That's good to know. Now I'm gonna talk about like general like tips and just like a bunch of tricks you should know with the speed that's possible. One of them is that the spin and the first left click have the same range. Look at that. Buff the spear. Yo, buff the spear, broski. So, throwing people off the map, I feel like it's overlooked. People just use it to throw people off. But let me talk. Okay, how do you do it? You winch someone, and before you do the pulling animation, you wanna run to either left or right. jump to the side and right click. For some reason, it lets you right click before they come to a full stop, and they'll just go flying. You just buffer it. You don't have to time it. The right click. You need to time a little bit, but you can buffer it. You don't have to be perfect with it. But you'll get the hang of it. The more you jump, the higher they go. So like if there's like a ceiling or something, you may not want to jump. You just walk to left or right, and it'll work. So you see there something interesting happened. They bounced off of me. So you can take advantage of that really well. There's videos like in the easiest one to find is the first video that Troop did of throwing ballis off a cliff. There's like this misconception that you like if you want them to go to this side, to the left, right? You gotta have to. If you want them to go left, you move left. So you both go left and they die, right? You don't have to do that. You can go to the right, make them bounce off of you toward the left. So you're safe and they're dead. And you don't have to like either clutch trying to fucking mantle something or like suicide for a kill, right? I showed it off, but how you do it is pretty simple. Once you winch them, you're gonna have to walk a little to. At least this is how I do it. You walk to the left or like a little bit to the side that you want them to go, and as soon as like you know when your character is gonna start pulling them in, you start holding the opposite direction, and then jump is spin. Let me show you again. Oh, I kind of missed it there, but that's the idea. You make them bounce off of you, so they go to the opposite side. If you do it really well, sometimes they do like a sharper angle, so it's like easier. Like so sometimes like the drop off is like more to the left, and you don't want to like risk it and stuff, and you boom. This is a superior way. Is all I'm saying, okay? So most people in the guides, they just like talk over how to throw people off the map, and that's it. But there's more to it. For example, let's say you're low health and you've hit a medium with one swipe. You know, if you winch them in, you don't have time to do, let's say like this, or like you don't have time to winch them in and spin, because then you're like a sitting duck. You won't be able to tank all the hits. So in those situations, you winch on purpose. You do the tech. That situation, you're low, you hit them with one left click. You can winch them, jump up, and that just makes it so much harder for them to hit you. So how you do this is taking advantage of the slingshot tech. It's by assuming you're close range. You don't want to move to the sides too much, because then they'll go flying off to the side. But you want to jump. You want to add in the jump. Sometimes you want to go further in, back. It's all just to make yourself as hard to hit as possible, right? So again, just showing it off again. Boom, boom. Right? That's gonna be so hard. They're gonna be like. With lights, it's not that useful because they can just dash away. But with heavies, it's also useful. Something to note though, you gotta be careful with them flying over you. It's harder to do with a heavy, but it's still possible. You gotta be a little bit aware of that, with like your timing of the jump and stuff. If you're low and you're gonna winch them and they're hurt, and just like a corner. You can also throw them to the corner for the same purpose of making yourself harder to hit. They're not gonna run away because they're just falling into you. So just, yeah, that's basically the slingshot tech in its entirety. It's not just useful to throw people off the map. It's very good. It's to just use it and practice it all around. Something that's very useful to show off, to know, is that the spear right click moves a lot of things, especially things that can't be able to move like normally. Like one of those things are the vaults. The spear is one of the only things that I know that can move the vaults. Not this the practice one, because you can pick it up, but in game, when they have it unlocked, you can't winch them or anything. So what you can do, a lot of lights like to do, is they put the gateway on top, right? You can deny that by just right clicking, moving it out of the way a little bit, and then it's like a bait, because then they'll be like, what the fuck happened? Why it unlocked? Why isn't it going through the gateway? And they'll go back through it and then they meet you spinning and you get a bunch of kills that way. I like to also like add barricades around the gateway to make that situation even more difficult to deal with. Another thing that's worth noting is moving totems with it. Let's say like that, with one spin. You can, let's say you know mediums always like to defib their teammates, and it's in like a really open spot. You can throw them to inside the buildings with just one spin. Whoop. I missed, but yeah. That only works if the totem is standing upright, and they always be standing upright when you kill them. So just know that. If it's something I like to do as well is knocking them over with like a left click or quick melee, and putting a barricade in it, and just spinning, seeing if someone's gonna push me to arrest their teammate. When you're spinning and you b-hop, you go faster. Only by a little amount, but it's important to know when you're chasing someone. This is especially good in Fortune Stadium. And those like vertical jump pads, like the triangle jump pads. I don't know why I said vertical, but the triangle jump pads are very good to do this on. Ziplines are very good to do this on. Something that's really good to know is that even though the stabs can't go through walls and hit enemies, it still hits equipment. So like that motion sensor, I can hit it from down here, right? So if there's like barricades, I mean not barricades, if there's turrets and mines and stuff, you can hit them from the below. So imagine this is a cash out, right? You can just hit it from below. I like to do that a lot when I need to steal a cash out. I'm under it and I just stab through it to see if there's a C4 or something. Or I know my teammate put mines or C4 on it and they're stealing. Sometimes I like to just stab through the wall, ceilings and stuff. Also, you can see right here which barrels you can hit with the spin. You can't hit healing. You can't hit glitch. But you will hit goo. And goo fucks you over. If you hit one goo with the spin, the second and the third one won't work. So just keep that in mind. It's gonna be really annoying. I'm telling you now, so you won't like be like, what the fuck? You know what? B, what the fuck? They need to fix the spin. But if it's on the side like this, it won't hit it. Gas, you won't hit it if it's not vertical. There is something you can do with the poison that's like, if you drop it in a certain way and spin, it'll hit them. It's so neat. You're never gonna ever do that, but just be aware. I guess. Look at that. Woohoo! Style points if you can kill someone like that, I guess. You will hit smoke grenades, smoke canisters, I mean, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And fire barrels, interestingly enough, they will get hit even if they're on their side like this with the spin. And for some reason, when you hit stuff with the spin and it hits a player, it'll blow up immediately. That for a lot of damage. So you can try to use that to your advantage. If there's a cash out, they're stealing it, and it has a C4 on it, you can spin and it'll explode the C4 and the cash out and yourself and the enemies, but it's a lot of damage. But it'll hurt you a lot as well. But it's good to know that. It's good to know that. And also be wary you're spinning around objectives like that, because you may hit your teammates' stuff as well. So yeah, if you made it this far, this is Pepe. Pepita. But hopefully I made you understand the weapon, or you learned something new with this guide. And remember to spin when they don't know you're there. And remember what causes the spin bug. And you made it this far. Like, drop a like. Tell me if I missed something, or if you have some doubts, say it in the comments. I'll answer it. I'm a huge spear nerd. But yeah, man, that's all I have to say. That's all I got. The weapon is like super technical, it's so awesome, but shit don't fucking work and it needs to get fixed. Say bye to Pepe.
Pobrecita Pepita. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's up with that dog? What's up with that dog? Oh, so cute. So cute. So cute, esa Pepita. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Ooh, no sir, no sir. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.